2 days ago, qualifying for the 2018 Youth Olympic Games, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, just adding to the impressive collection of accolades that he has at such a young age, just turned 17. And he will be facing off with Junhan Wu, who this year was the highest rated US active table tennis player. And we're going to have a little look here at some clips from Kanak National Championships.
And that was the actual match that earned Kanak the nickname Young Money Drama. That was a fantastic one. We love that match.
It's almost the start of this culmination of success that Kanak had. It was a real breakthrough tournament for him. Of course, he's won his second national championship since then this year, again in Las Vegas. Now, looking to see if he can claim his first US Open men's singles title. He has a difficult match here with Junhan Wu. Of course, yesterday played against Kai Zhang, another strong Chinese player from the East Coast. But he is dealing with a very high-level opponent in Junhan Wu in the Jia A League in China, one level below the Chinese Super League. And it's a very strong contender on the East Coast, based out of New Jersey, the Lily Yip Table Tennis Center. A player I have trained with on a daily basis for quite a little while, since last year.
You know that this match is going to be crazy when our two-time national champion is considered the underdog in this match, on paper at least.
It's going to be a bit of a struggle. There's an interesting style matchup at play here. Kanak's a little bit softer and more consistent, and Junhan Wu is kind of the soft, consistent who will take the opportunities and power through the ball. He's got a very impressive range of strokes.
What are some of the weapons that Junhan possesses and you think he'll show in this match, Matt?
I think just the extreme variance that he has in a rally. He can play, you know, shots that he hooks out wide across court. He can play inside out. So he's got a lot of different tools that he can use to win points in this match. In saying that, he still does have that kind of Chinese style of play. Not quite a third ball attacker. He likes to play a few more shots to win the point. So in that sense, there are some similarities between him and the way that Kanak plays as well. So it's really a matter of seeing who's the better player on the day and who kind of forms their tactics well enough to take advantage of the game style matchup. So Kanak clawing quickly back to within one here. Junhan Wu, a 6-time winner of one of the great tournaments in the US, the Westchester Table Tennis Open out in New York. He's also a member of the team that won the butterfly team competition last November. Bit of a lucky break there for Wu. And again, as we've seen throughout all of his matches here, Kanak mother and father on the sidelines of the court, watching on. Really supportive family network, along with Coach Stefan Feth, who's been mentoring and supporting Kanak for a long time. has really helped give him that network for success. And forces a serve-receive error. Again, back to within 1 point.
I do love Kanak's entourage. He really has a strong support system around him, like you were saying. And if you didn't catch him, I saw them on NBC last night. They did a news package on Kanak.
And a big counter there from Junhan Wu. Kanak Ja, again, the player with more international exposure. Junhan Wu, maybe with a little bit more exposure to higher level competition with some of the best players in China. And a nice switch up there. Kanak Ja taking Wu wide on the forehand, or across the forehand line in the middle. Again, Kanak Ja clawing back to within 1. He hasn't managed to draw even yet or take the lead, but he's holding on here. Just looking for that opportune moment to strike.
Whoa.
And it looks like the table surround caused some problems there for Wu. Just caught his foot on the bottom of the surround and lost his balance. Wasn't happy with that. He's definitely the player in control of that point. Came in for a big forehand. Looks like his foot just got caught maybe underneath the table surround. Lost his balance there.
And they're going to resume Kanak Ja. What?
Same for me. This. This. It's same for me on my side. Also like this. This. Come on. Yeah, but also if you get here, I also make like this.
Looks like Kanak's trying to say that both players are facing the same conditions.
I mean, I would agree with that.
It's an interesting situation. Stefan Feth is up next to the umpire.
Interesting controversy.
And the umpire's called over the players. Looks like he'll send Stefan Feth back to his coaching seat. At the end, the umpire is going to have to be the one who makes the judgment call.
Now, Matt, if you were the umpire right now, what call would you make? You get to see all the angles.
Honestly, I really don't know. It's a difficult, I mean, I've never seen that happen before. There was a definite obstruction in the point from below the table. But, I mean, and there are other situations where maybe you'd be pushed out wide towards the barriers and the barrier obstruct your movement where a let wouldn't be called. But this seems quite a unique situation. I don't know. That's a tough call. Very, very unique. I haven't seen that before.
We might need to go and add the reviews, just like in football and baseball, which has now. This could be the biggest controversy of the entire tournament so far, Matt.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Kickgate, as calling it.
Seems the two umpires are just discussing how to proceed.
From this angle, what I will say is it does look like they do have the exact same conditions. So it's hard to side with Junhan, but I can definitely see where he's coming from.
Yeah, he definitely had control in that point, and him losing his balance against, it looks like he caught his foot underneath the table surround. Looks like they'll call for the tournament referee. It is a very unique situation and a difficult one for an umpire to call. Certainly, I felt like Junhan Wu was well in control of the point before stumbling, but I don't know. I mean, if a player slips over during a point, then the point would count. If a player runs through a barrier or trips over a barrier, it would count. I've never seen anybody trip from the surround of the table.
To me, the call would be that that part of the table is part of the court. Just like in baseball, if it hits the umpire, he's part of the field. So I'm not sure how this would go, but I'm going to guess that the tournament umpire is going to side with Kanak and give him the point. But I would be very fascinated to see if there is a different call. The momentum in this match paused momentarily. Kanak Ja putting us warm-ups back on as he fights to take that point, which very well could be a decisive point in this match because it would have tied him up 7-7. Just like you were saying, he was waiting for that moment to strike. That could have been that moment.
So the umpire will go off to consult with tournament referee Rd16. We'll have to see what decision comes back, what advice the umpire is given. A very bizarre situation.
Always something new when you're here in Las Vegas.
And the tournament referee returns. Well, the umpire has returned with the tournament referee.
And Roman coming over to check the conditions and speak with the umpires.
I can tell you now, if anybody knows the official rules and how to interpret them, it's this man right here, Rd16, the tournament referee for the 2017 US Open. The umpire just explaining how things played out. And it definitely looks like he got his foot stuck underneath. He couldn't move it out. After he stepped in to take that shot, tried to pull his foot out from underneath the table surround, and his foot was actually stuck underneath. So
it's very understandable where Junhan's coming from. I'd be furious.
Yeah, he had no chance to be able to recover from that. Of course, down there, they're not able to see what we are lucky enough to be able to see on the slow motion replays. Though I don't know if it would help them make a decision here.
Should we run an iPad down there so they can see? Not sure if it would make a difference, but
so the point has been awarded to Kanak Ja.
Young Money Drama takes that point, beats the controversy, challenges the challenge, and we're tied at 7-7.
So no doubt that'll put a little bit of caution on the wind for Junhan Wu. He'll be a little bit more careful about how he approaches the table. He won't want to get his foot stuck underneath that table surround again. And vocally showing some confidence here at coming back and winning the next point.
Kanak Ja with the serve, 7 serving 8.
And a big inside-out forehand from Junhan Wu. Great placement. When you were asking me towards the beginning of this game what weapons we would see, That is the kind of shot I'm talking about.
Kanak Ja down by 1. Junhan Wu looking to take this first game, leading 9-8. He's got the serve back.
Have to see if he goes for a big third ball attack. And Kanak Ja bringing the ball back across to the forehand.
Beautiful display of both of their skills.
Wu playing a little bit softer after the first ball clipped the net. And we're tied at 9-9. Might
Interesting
be
that-
one of the longest first games we've seen during the tournament so far.
Just going to say that exact same thing. Now, this first game, ooh, that hit the table, hit the side of the table. It did, absolutely did.
Quick reflexes from Junhan. And whether or not that hit the top or the side, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can look at this close angle. And it looks like the ball may have hit the side of the table there. A difficult ball for the umpire to see from his side.
A lot of controversy in this first game, which could turn out to be the decisive game in this best-of-7 matchup. The umpires, unfortunately, do not have the luxury that you do watching this at home to see exactly what we saw. All they can see is what was in front of them.
And Stefan Feth again coming across to talk to the umpire. Just seeing if we can slow that replay down a little more. And it definitely touched the side of the table. But in the sport of table tennis, the umpire's call is final. So a couple of interesting situations so far, and it's been 1 point for each of the players. And Junhan Wu, 11-9 the first game. A very bizarre first game to start this match.
I would expect nothing less from these two caliber of players to show us something that we have not seen quite yet.
So Kanak Ja going back to coach Stefan Feth. A very tight first game.
Very, very close. Now, Kanak needing to step aside from those controversies. If he wants to take the second game, what do you think the keys are to defeating a player like Junhan?
I think he really needs to be the aggressive player and make a lot of quick changes in direction and changes in, I mean, extreme, almost extreme placement. It's a very high-level match for him. Fortunately for Kanak Ja, he has played a season in the Chinese league before and was also in the A-League, so he has been exposed to this level of competition. And you know, in the US, he's played against these high-level Chinese players before. We'll have to see what he can come up with in the second game. Hopefully, we can keep it to the norm and see some regular points. And Kanak Ja sending the ball up high. Big change in direction there from Junhan to start the point.
If that's one of those
right
regular
into
points.
the corner, straight down the line. Kanak Ja did a great job almost scooping that ball off the floor. But Junhan was in the power position.
Putting it in all the places Kanak could not get to. 0 serving 1.
And Kanak Ja comes back with the same strategy. This time out wide to the forehand and then finding that space down the line.
Junhan Wu to serve.
And a nice little change in variation from Kanak Ja, switching between slower and quicker shots close to the table. It's going to need as much variance and placement change as he can muster in this match.
Kanak Ja, our 2-time national champion, and our youngest Olympian, will have to pull out every weapon in his arsenal to defeat Junhan Wu in this match. He's up 3-1 in the second game, but down 1 game to 0. Kanak to serve.
And Kanak Ja again doing well to play backhand cross court and then a quick switch down the line. Did well to hold his balance on the corner and really quickly springing back off that out of position forehand to follow up with a very well balanced shot. And a missed serve from Kanak Ja.
And a great rally happening all day. And of course, I'm loving these two players. In my opinion, this easily could have been a final match here at the US Open. And we're getting it in the Sweet 16 round. Kanak Ja leads Junhan Wu. It's going to be 1 serving 5.
Interestingly enough, with Tomislav Pukar exiting the tournament, Kanak Ja is actually the highest seeded player remaining in the draw, as he was the 2nd seed going into the tournament. But if you look at USATT ratings, Junhan Wu is the favorite. So a big clash here of 2 very high caliber players. Kanak Ja taking quite a significant lead here in the 2nd game. Junhan not quite being able to find his mark on quite a few shots. Some great placement combinations from Kanak Ja.
Oh, Kanak with a great shot, sneaking it right past. Kanak feeling very confident after dropping the first game in what was quite possibly the longest game in the tournament so far.
And another forced error. Kanak Ja with a long fast serve. Big lead here, 9-1 in the 2nd. A strong comeback into the match from the young American. Again, seeing very similar patterns here of a quick ball to the forehand side. It's really opened up a lot of space on the forehand side during this match.
Woo! That was a beautiful exchange. Junhan Wu reminding people why he's still here. He's down by 8 points. It is game point for Kanak Ja, but he still leads by 1 game. Kanak looking to tie this up at 1 game apiece.
Players going over to take their towel break. Kanak Ja will just want to take that little moment to ensure he's ready to close out this game. And Another forehand error from Junhan Wu. Bit of a shaky second game. Right now, we're going to hear a little bit of advice on table tennis from the man down on center court, Kanak Ja.
I'm all ears.
Hi, I am 2016 Olympian Kanak Ja, and today I'm going to show you the backhand counter loop. The backhand counter loop is a very useful shot to get back into a rally, especially when you're in defense away from the table. It is an offensive shot that can bring you from the defense to the offense in the rally.
For more information, please visit usatt.org.
So, a little bit of advice for all you developing table tennis fans out there from Kanak Ja, the man who is currently down on table 1, all tied up at 1-1 with a formidable opponent in Junhan Wu. Very dominant display coming out in the second game from Kanak Ja to tie things up. Quite a few shots from Junhan Wu. Not quite correctly timed or just a little bit off, so we'll have to see if Junhan Wu can find his mark a bit more. Kanak Ja definitely looking like he's in a positive zone now, trying to build up some momentum.
Kanak Ja looking to be not only a 2-time national champion, but the US Open champion as well. We're here in the round of 16. Two of the top players still in the tournament. And Kanak Ja takes another point and jumps to a 2-0 lead after tying it up at 1 game apiece. It's going to be 2 serving 0.
And pops the ball up high. Just too many opportunities here. Handed over by Junhan Wu. Kanak Ja is just waiting these kind of free points that he's being handed. And not a player that's going to let them pass.
And Kanak turning his power on, reminding everyone why he's a 2-time national champion.
Some super inside-out shots from the corner. He's exploiting a really fine gap on the table, just wide of Wu's backhand side. A little bit of a high serve there. Kanak Ja making the bold play. Not quite able to land it.
Junhan Wu is on the board in the 3rd game. It's going to be 1 serving 4.
Nice gesture from there on that last point to see Wu apologizing just for that slight service miss hit. So a 4-2 lead for Kanak Ja. He'll definitely be looking to try and capitalize on his run from the last game.
Kanak Ja up by 2, tied at 1 game apiece, 4 serving 2. Overshoots, Junhan Wu creeping back in, only down by 1. Junhan looking to equalize, Kanak with the serve.
And
my
without
goodness.
a doubt, that is the rally so far of the 2017 US Open. Both players so tactful back from the table, sometimes playing soft, moving in and out from the table. Junhan Wu getting caught by Kanak Ja's counterattack, slots the ball back in so he can turn the point back around. What an absolutely brilliant point from both players.
A symphony right there in one single point. Exactly why we love the sport of table tennis. Junhan Wu ties it up. We're tied at 1 game apiece and 4-all.
And a long fast serve from Junhan Wu. That rally bound to give him some more confidence.
Junhan Wu feeling the flow. Up by 1, 5 serving 4.
Now during this year, both of these players have taken out some pretty impressive, speaking of impressive, did clip the edge there. That looked like it might have hit the top edge this time.
Did too. We're going to check
It
out
came
the
from the
super
middle
slow
of the
mo.
table. That definitely hit the top edge. And they've given the point to Kanak, so I guess now,
No, they gave it to
and
Junhan.
a good and great sportsmanship there from Kanak Ja. Indicating that the ball did in fact touch the top edge. This ball a little bit easier to call because the ball came from the middle of the table out to the corner. It's very hard to hit the side when the ball's coming across the top of the table surface.
Kanak takes one back. Junhan overshoots. And that's funny. You ask anybody if they're sitting in the umpire seats what they saw, and I feel like 9 out of 10 people that have no idea because the ball is moving so fast.
Yeah, it's one of the gray areas of table tennis, really, the top and side. Another big point here. Kanak Ja going for the quick counter, narrowly misses the edge of the table. Yeah, as I was saying, it's really probably the most difficult ball to call, that edge ball of whether the ball hits the top or the side. Usually you can indicate from the trajectory of the ball after it hits the table as to whether it hit the top or the side. But yeah, again, the umpire's in a fixed position and they don't see what we see up here, so it can be very tough to call. And a quick exchange there, backhand to backhand between the two players. Junhan Wu starting to build some rhythm. We've seen a lot less unforced errors from him on his forehand side, particularly during this match. Or during this game, rather. And now Kanak Ja trailing by 3 points in this crucial second or third game.
And now trailing by 4 points. Now he's down by 4, but we all know Kanak Ja is no stranger to being down. And that is how he earned the nickname Young Money Drama. He'll come back from any situation. Let's see what he can do. It's going to be 5 serving 9.
And not quite able to make a solid contact with that ball. Kanak Ja claws one back. And
Two
goes
straight
for the
points.
counter. Ball was a little bit too low to be countering there. So up by 2, Junhan with the serve. And he'll step in and make the big third ball. Great service set up there. And 3 game points for Junhan Wu.
Junhan in control of game 3, looking to close it out and take a 2-1 lead. This is game point for Junhan Wu.
And Kanak Cha buries that serve in the net. It's going to be a 2-1 lead here for Junhan Wu.
Junhan Wu taking it right down. He wins the third game 11-7 and leads 2 games to 1 in the men's singles round of Sweet 16 right here at the 2017 Supermicro US Open. We're live from Las Vegas, having a great time. My name is Ryan Willard, and I am here with Mr. Matt Hetherington. Dramatic pause because I thought he was going to say his own name, but I'm more than happy to do so for him.
So a great turnaround from Junhan Wu. Kanak Ja just built so much momentum in the second game. He was really, really dominant, forced a lot of errors. And I mean, some of them were unforced, but he really took control in the second game. So for Junhan Wu to come back out here and I think he found some confidence and is really just starting to find his timing a little more with his shots. It's going to be a task for Kanak Ja. See if he can shut that rhythm down and take game 4. Still reeling over that fantastic rally in that game. Hope we see some more action like that here down on table 1. Of course, if you're just joining us, we're streaming live from tables 1 and 2 and offering on-demand video. If you missed any of the action, not just this morning, but over the last couple of days, you can head to the live stream and on-demand player on usatt.org or over on our YouTube channel. And a lot of effort from Kanak Ja into that backhand, but Junhan Wu just snaps back. A slingshot of a play, just took all of that explosive energy and sent it right back at twice the pace.
And a high serve coming from Junhan. And Kanak not able to return that. That serve felt unusually high. Was that on purpose, Matt, or do you think that was an accident?
I don't know if anyone at this level would serve a little bit high on purpose. A little bit of a interesting decision there from Kanak to play backhand. A little bit of a quick movement would have stepped him round onto the forehand. See, he just stopped moving to settle on the backhand side. Probably should have taken that with the forehand. Junhan now 3-1 up.
And Kanak taking that point right back. Still got the serve. There'll be 2 serving 3.
Both of these players have had wins over some pretty exceptional international players this year. Kanak Ja winning at the World Championships against Adrian Crissan, who's a former top 10 ranked player in the world. Junhan Wu just a few months ago had a 3-1 win against Rd16, the veteran player from Spain, also a top 100 world player. So no stranger to high-level table tennis, these two players, and down here giving it their all to try and advance to the quarterfinal stages of the 2017 US Open men's singles. And not able to follow up. A great first ball attack from Junhan. Ball popped up high, and he just sent it sailing over the end. And now Kanak Ja takes the lead in game 4. Looks like Kanak's just checking a look at the ball.
All looks well. Kanak with the lead. Junhan with the serve. 3 serving 4.
Very common now for players to test the roundness of the ball. course, we're in very good hands here at the US Open with the Nataku Premium Ball. Thanks to the support of Paddle Palace and Nataku, the official ball sponsor of USA Table Tennis.
Kanak taking a 2-point lead, still down by a game to Junhan Wu.
And goes for the long, kind of slower variance of the long serve. Got almost what he asked for, a slow opening on the backhand side from Junhan Wu, but not quite able to control his forehand follow-up. At this level of play between internationally competitive players, when you create an opportunity, you've got to make sure that you take it. Any opportunity wasted could be costly as the match goes on. And a serve return there from Kanak Ja goes into the bottom of the net. Junhan Wu will be looking to convert both points off his serve here to level the game up. And a soft return there from Junhan gives Kanak Ja just the opportunity he was looking for. He was quick to step in there on his forehand and hold on to that 2-point lead with 2 serves now. And he'll take one of those points. A 3-point buffer now for Kanak Ja.
Kanak happy with the lead, but not happy until he wins this game and then the match. It's going to be 8 serving 5.
And it's Junhan Wu who pops the short play up, giving Ja the opportunity to make the initiative play. And a fantastic job from him to get that ball into a difficult place. Ooh, and a super counter from Junhan Wu. A good setup from Kanak Ja. He again went for that play where he forces the slower opening. This time doing a better job of adjusting his forehand counter. He left a little bit of the table open, just enough for Wu to play into. And now, 4 game points for Kanak Ja. 2016 Rio Olympian, youngest ever table tennis Olympian. With the serve also.
And a decisive game 4. Kanak Ja wins 11-6, tying it at 2 games apiece in the men's singles round of 16. We're playing best of 7 here at the 2017 Supermicro US Open. We've got our 2-time national champion and the youngest Olympian from last year competing against Junhan Wu, one of the top players in this tournament. Matt, this could easily be the finals right here, and we get this in the round of 16.
Yep, and there's a lot of high quality matches going on, and from the very beginning we had round of 64 and round of 32 matches prior to this, and we've seen some really intense matches. I mean, probably one of the tightest matches very early in the main draw was between Damien Allois from France, who's played 4 Olympic Games. He took on the top seed of the tournament, Tomislav Pukar from Croatia. 84 in the world currently, and Alwa was able to eliminate the top seed in the 7th game, so there's a lot at play here. Some unrated players came into the draw. That usually mixes things up. There's always a few surprises waiting in the draw, but always very high quality table tennis once we get to these penultimate rounds.
And we are here for game 5. Junhan Wu with the serve. Love all.
And Junhan, a bounce in his step, realizing the importance of a good start here in game 5.
Honestly, Matt, I'll be surprised if this does not go to 7 games.
And Junhan maintaining control. Kanak Ja making the switch. Probably a little bit too close to the center line on the forehand side. Would have done well to get that a little bit wider.
This would be a huge win for Junhan Wu if he beats Kanak Ja at this round of the tournament. Big confidence boost, taking one of our national heroes and treasures, Kanak Ja, down on his way to a glorious victory. Let's see what he can do.
During the past year that he's been competing in the US, there have been a very small number of players who've been able to overcome Junhan Wu. I think possibly only 3 players that have managed to do so. 2 of them defensive players. So it would be a triumph for young Kanak Ja here. And what a turnaround.
What was that, Matt?
The serve clipping the front edge of the table and popping up. You could just see, really light on his toes, Junhan Wu preparing for the inevitability that was coming. Superb effort to win that point. And there's that inside-out angle. Big aggression showing here from Junhan Wu. A 5-1 lead.
Kanak Ja with the serve, down but certainly not out. 1 serving 5.
Certainly been a very intense match so far from both players. It's a real highlight to see 2 players really fighting to try and be at the top of their game here on center court. And that ball actually rolling under the net. Didn't get much clearance there. With his backhand counter close to the table. A 4-point lead for Junhan Wu. A lot of pressure will be on either player if when they end up, one of them's going to end up 3-2 down here after this game. Junhan Wu has the advantage here in game 5. But on occasions, we've seen Kanak Ja fight the pressure in extreme situations. National Championships final against Fong Yi-jun, down 9-4 in the 7th. And he won 7 points in a row to claim his first national championships.
That's why Kanak Ja is one of my favorite players to watch. It doesn't matter how down he might be. All he sees is that next point with his eyes on the big picture and the championship. 3 serving 7.
And Kanak Ja, great placement into the middle of the table. Just catches Junhan Wu inside the elbow on the backhand. Great consistency from both players.
Kanak Ja with another one. Like we said, doesn't matter how down he might be. We're tied at 2 games apiece in this best of 7 matchup. Junhan Wu with the serve. It's going to be 7 serving 5.
He's really going to need to capitalize off these 2 serves. And not able to. The pressure is mounting on Junhan Wu, and he will call a timeout after leading 7-2. That is 4 points in a row. The pressure coming back on from Kanak Ja. This game is crucial. In such a tight back and forth between the 2 players. To have that 3-2 advantage, a really vital stage of the match here.
Now, what do you think Stefan is telling Kanak right now?
Honestly, it's quite difficult to know. I mean, there's a probably very specific tactics that he'll be going through. He definitely needs to try and stay close and control the ball. He's done well at outlasting these rallies and forcing a few errors from Junhan Wu. His placement has been spectacular, especially in the last 5 points. He's done well to play into the elbow, force some uncomfortable placements in the backhand elbow side of Junhan Wu. So there have been a few backhand errors he's forced. Really, it's just about confidence. Both of these players have the skills necessary to come through in this match. It's about confidence and really having a solid game plan that you stick to and are able to adapt to. And Junhan Wu will take the first point after the timeout. A little bit of a reprieve on the pressure coming from Kanak Ja. He'll have 2 serves now to try and draw it even.
Kanak Ja looking to get the crazy 8s. 6 serving 8. Caught on the net. Junhan Wu taking what could be a decisive point in a decisive game.
You can see, and it's a good example in this point, Junhan Wu has quite a good ability to control the changes in pace. So when Kanak plays slow, he's able to play a stable ball back. When Kanak picks up the pace, he picks up the pace as well. So anytime Kanak makes an initiative and he changes the pace, Junhan Wu has so far managed to keep up with him. And now, Junhan Wu with a game point. Will he show his timeout to be successful? Ooh. He will. A great counter on the forehand side. Quick hands from Junhan Wu.
Very quick hands. He just added an exclamation point to the end of this game and said, let's end this sooner than later, shall we? Junhan Wu leads 3 games to 2. Kanak Ja with his back to the wall. He needs to win. This is a must-win situation for our 2-time national champion.
There's definitely taken a little bit of pressure off there for Junhan Wu, but it is certain that Kanak Ja will definitely come back into this next game and really throw everything he has into the match. It's a matter of survival now.
Now I'm curious to see how Canucks' game plan might change or how he goes into game 6. Junhan Wu definitely seems like he's in control, but someone like Kanak, you never know what's going to come out of that corner, especially with Stefan as your coach.
Yeah, I think the real focus for him, and something that he's always proven to be very good at, is focusing and honing in on one point at a time. There's no end game. He doesn't see the end game. He sees what's right in front of him, and that helps him ease the pressure off. And, I mean, as I mentioned, that huge comeback at the US Nationals. And not only that, but the comeback for him to qualify for the US Olympic Games, the US Olympic team, at the North American qualifier, he was significantly down in the 7th game when playing Canada's Pierre-Luc Thériault. Came back just so strong. I think he won 9 points in a row, not only to qualify himself for the Olympics, but to qualify a men's team as well.
That's exactly why we call him what we call him. Junhan Wu takes the point, ties it up, 1-all.
So we're going to see which player can take the early advantage in this game. I think on a psychological level, it's going to be important for Kanak to try and win more points in the first half of this game. Especially considering Junhan Wu's already used his timeout. A big lead here could potentially send us to the 7th for the young American player.
I would love to see a Game 7. Nothing's more exciting than a whole entire match coming down to one single game. Junhan Wu down by 1. 1 serving 2.
And a nice inside-out variation from Kanak Ja. Working towards that early lead. I was just talking about 3-1. We've seen a real climb in development from Kanak Ja over the last couple of years, playing in Sweden and now in Grenzau, Germany. Really has matured as a player. And it looks like that ball just touched the edge.
And Kanak.
Quick apology there from Junhan Wu. You can see Kanak Ja just taking a little bit more time to breathe out before he serves.
Kanak, such a good sport. Excellent sportsmanship, conceding that last point. But that next point, with a miss serve, goes back to Junhan Wu. That psychological advantage you were talking about, Matt, might be disappearing. Let's see if Kanak can take it back.
More backhand to backhand exchanges. Switch down the line from Junhan Wu. Just clips the net. And Stefan Feth will call the timeout for Kanak Ja as Junhan Wu takes 3 points in a row to now lead 4-3 in this crucial game. It is the make or break. Kanak Ja fighting to stay in the match. Junhan Wu trying to edge ever closer to that finish line. And one of these players will earn a place in the men's singles quarterfinal.
Now, if you're Junhan's coach, what are you sending him back with? Are you telling him to be more aggressive? Telling him to stay even-keeled?
I think he has to be adaptable. I think not playing too soft. He doesn't want to give Kanak Ja too many opportunities to play forward. But so far, the points that he's had real success with are the ones where he's been able to match Kanak Ja on pace. So he plays steady when Kanak plays steady, and then when Kanak steps the speed up, he's able to deal with that. And definitely just look for strong placement. Again, I mean, it's really point for point. Both players have to focus. Tunnel vision. Outside the table doesn't matter. It's got to be completely on the point at hand.
Caught up in the net. Kanak Ja getting a lucky break. Suddenly we're tied. 4-4. Junhan Wu is up by 1 game.
And a very smart little play there from Kanak Ja. Instead of dropping the ball, he just floated it. A bit of a dead ball.
Ever so soft.
Junhan Wu not quite sure what to do with it. Steps forward and drives it into the net, and after the timeout, Kanak Ja regains the lead.
It's those little variations that make Kanak such an interesting player to watch. There's not one single particular style, and he'll pull out any of his tricks. Junhan Wu's the exact same way, but that was just one of those situations where I wouldn't know what to do with that.
Oh, and clips the back edge a little bit of an unlucky break there for Kanak Ja. Both players opting to go short. Kanak Ja taking the initiative. Junhan was waiting for it. And a bit of luck helped him bring it home. Again, we're tied up 5-5. Anybody's game here down on table 1.
And Kanak caught up in the net. That point going to Junhan Wu. This is a nail biter right here. Kanak down by 1 and down by 1 game. Junhan Wu has the serve. 6 serving 5. Whoa!
And a great deflection from Kanak Ja. Took the first opening. Junhan looked like he was in full control as he stepped around and counter-looped. But again, quick hands from Kanak Ja. Junhan nowhere near the table. And we're going point for point here.
Kanak with another one. Needed that point. Up by 1, but still down by a game. Young Money Drama with his back to the wall. Not a stranger to this situation. Let's see if he can force a game 7.
Good no-spin variation there with the serve. Let's see what he comes out with this time. And he comes in, takes the initiative. Big player in these big matches, taking the initiative, seizing opportunities. Quite often you have the advantage in the point when you're the first player to make an opening and to be the first player to be aggressive or to assert yourself in the point. And that is what Kanak Ja is doing right now. And what a point. Again, more changes in pace.
Junhan Wu takes that point right back.
You could just see the subtle changes in pace. Big forehand, the ball comes back. Takes it early, plays soft. And then almost invites Kanak to take a swipe at that ball.
Junhan trying to make it crazy 8s with the serve.
And a big opportunity lost there for Junhan Wu. Strong opening, great opportunity for a follow-up. Just tipped the net, sending it long. Now a 2-point lead and 2 serves for Kanak Ja.
Oh my goodness.
And the net didn't seem to bother Junhan. Came back in, continued on the attack, but masterful placement there from Kanak Ja.
So many.
Straight down that backhand line. Managed to get it really deep on the table too.
Just jamming Junhan up in that point. It's game point for Kanak Ja.
Holding steady there, Junhan. 2 serves now. 2 chances to level things up. He's held the advantage a couple of occasions during this game. But now Kanak Ja surging forward to take the lead here at the end of game 6. And Junhan back from the table. Kanak converts. We will go to 7.
Young money drama does what he has to do. We're going to game 7. One single game will determine this match. This is Clash of the Titans in the round of 16 here at the 2017 Super Micro US Open.
This is intense. My palms are sweating. I'm nervous for both players.
I mean, this is exactly the reason why I love this sport. The intensity, the grace, the power. Strategies just constantly changing right here at center court. And it's all coming down to one single game.
Yeah, we're seeing really the extreme of variance in these rallies. There's so much going on, so many subtle changes that a lot of people don't realize, especially those who haven't been exposed to a high level of table tennis before. I mean, you have a lot of dimensions of moving your opposition left and right, playing into their body, playing wide, shallow ball on the table, playing deep to the back line. And on top of that, there's speed variations and spin variations. There's just so much going on. They look like simple rallies and back and forths, but just every single split fragment of a second, there's a lot of decision making going on.
Hi, I am U.S. Olympian Kanak Ja, and you're watching USA Table Tennis.
That you are. USA Table Tennis right here. The best of it. And we are into the 7th game of this round of 16 men's singles match. Kanak Ja stepping it up. And the pressure is falling back on Junhan Wu, the Jia A league player from Liaoning Province, China, representing the Lilleyip Table Tennis Center Club in New Jersey.
Two straight points for Junhan Wu.
And we're going to see, surely, both players letting some emotion ride out here, putting their confidence on display. We can see it coming from Wu already as he takes the first 2 points of this deciding game. Great decision making there. A lot of short combinations have been played throughout this match, with Kanak usually being the player to take the initiative. This time, Junhan Wu stepping up to make the first play.
3 straight points. Let's see if Kanak can come back. And there's the force point for Kanak. He's on the board. This is game 7.
Good effort by Kanak Ja to get on the board sooner rather than later. Really needs to hold on here in the first half of this game. He doesn't want to let Junhan Wu get too far ahead. And Kanak Ja making the step around. Again, the importance of taking the initiative really coming through here.
Man, this is a great match. It's crazy when you think back to game one and the controversy and how long that first game was, how far we've come since then, and it all comes down to just this game. Junhan Wu with the serve, up by 1. 3 serving 2.
And interesting development there. That was a strange shot.
There's been a few of those this match, huh?
Just a little bit of panic from Junhan as he wondered if that ball was going to come back over.
I think it's safe to say that anything can happen in this match.
Looked like it hit the net post before coming back across. Didn't quite go over to the other side.
I've seen more weird things happen with the table in this match than I think I've ever seen in any table tennis match, man. 2 serving 4.
And a bit of a high ball there. Kanak Ja will be disappointed not to convert that point, and it's a 5-2 lead as the players swap sides. Really, the climax now of the 7th game. It is crunch time. Do or die for Kanak Ja.
This is when we see who Young Money Drama really is. 2 serving 5.
And Kanak Ja in great control. Junhan Wu goes for the backhand counter loop. Can just see a lot of really subtle changes in placement across the table.
That's the beautiful thing about these two players playing, the changes during the rallies that happen and the different styles that come up so quickly, so effortlessly. It's a beautiful dance. 5 serving 3. Junhan Wu up by 2.
And it'll be a little bit of pressure off him. Gets the serve receive error, yeah.
So much spin on that ball coming from Junhan, giving him a 3-point lead.
He'll very much be hoping to try and repeat that. And a superb effort. Kanak Ja playing to the middle, taking Junhan out wide. But Junhan Wu, a lot of firepower out on the wings.
Up by 4, Junhan has the momentum. Let's see what Kanak can do.
And long placement into the corner. The lead extends for Junhan Wu. Big uphill struggle here ahead of Kanak Ja to try and fight his way back into this game. The ultimate game, 3-3, the winner going through to the quarterfinals of the men's singles. And
Junhan Wu, 2 points away. Now we've seen Kanak Ja get out of tighter situations than this.
That's right. We have
2-time
even
national
from
champion.
9-3 down. So
With his back to the wall, let's see what Junhan comes up with. And Junhan saying dilly dilly, taking that point home. It's suddenly game and match point.
and Junhan Wu.
That is it. Junhan Wu takes the game and the match 11-3. He's moving on to the quarterfinals. was fantastic table tennis right there, man.
I think that was probably the best match we've seen so far in the men's singles draw. We've had close 4-3 matches before, but the quality of the rallies and the quality of play between both players, there was a lot of tactics going on and just an incredible amount of variation. It's something we're used to seeing now from Kanak Ja, but he certainly met his match in this game here down on table 1. But, I mean, really, there's nothing better you can hope for. I felt both players captured some of their best table tennis. They were really on point, and they gave it their all. And Junhan were definitely able to step it up in the 7th game. But likewise, Kanak Ja did a great job of recovering from a 3-2 deficit. So, yeah, a bit of a shaky start. There were some interesting developments in the first game with the tracked foot under the table surround and the side ball. But no doubt a fantastic match from both players. We're going to have more matches coming at you from throughout the day of the US Open. So stay tuned on the live stream, and we'll be back soon.
I'm Ryan Willard.
And I'm Matt Hetherington.
We'll see y'all soon.
Hi, I'm Marcus Freitas, and this is how you play a forehand topspin.
In table tennis, there is no stroke more dominant than the forehand topspin. That's why most players base their entire game on creating situations where they will be able to perform